Hi friends, welcome to your Mindful Eating Monday. I'm Melissa, a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and registered yoga teacher, here to guide you through your practice today. For anyone who is looking for pin attendance, I'm pasting the pin URL for attendance. I will also post it in the replay. So go ahead and grab a snack, grab a meal, grab something to eat as we walk through our mindful eating practice. Today I have a little bit of oatmeal with some nuts for some texture. I have some dates kind of mixed in there with some maple syrup for a little bit of sweetness. I've got some breakfast sausage on the side. And I'm sharing this with you not to say that this is the right or the wrong way to eat, because I'm just sharing my experience with you, right? So last week we talked about a non-judgment as a component of mindful eating. So this is not the space to say I'm eating a good food or I'm eating a bad food, right? Because when we categorize foods into good and bad, it makes us feel good, right? We associate ourselves with being good when we eat those good foods, and we associate ourselves with being bad for eating those bad foods. And so in the mindful eating space, food is food. It's not good, it's not bad, it's food, right? It's pleasure, it's nourishment. It is vitamins and nutrients, it's energy, it's fuel. It's a cultural celebration, right? It's a religious practice. There's so many reasons why we eat food, right? And we don't need to judge ourselves for being good or bad for eating a certain way, right? So let's just take a few moments to ground into this moment, right? So find yourself maybe in a seat, feet flat on the ground. Feel free to place your hands on your lap, or maybe one hand on your stomach, one hand on your heart. And just begin to notice the rise and fall of your chest and your abdomen as you breathe in through your diaphragm and through your lungs. And then as you exhale, feel the fall. And then we'll take some breaths together, inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling to the count of 4. So we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath. Let it rise and fall at its natural pace. And so we ground down through the breath, right, to get into our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, right? Because when we're running around and we're trying to get things done, we're stuck in Atlanta traffic, or we're trying to get an assignment completed, we are like revved up, right? Which is really great for competition, to get going and get things done. That's the sympathetic nervous system. There's space for that. It's not bad, it's not good. It just is a part of being a human being. What we want for our eating is that rest and digest, right? To help with our digestive system, to help ground us, and to help us really enjoy our food. So we'll take a moment to just scan our body and notice, like, where do you feel like you're at? If 1 is the most hungry I've ever been, and 10 is the most full I've ever been. Where do you feel like you're at on a scale of 1 to 10? And if you do click on our link, we have that hunger scale and the mindful eating journal in our, there it is, hunger scale in our link tree on our bio. So feel free to follow along. So if a 5 is like neutral, where do you feel like you're at? And I feel like for me, I'm fairly hungry right now. I'm almost like to maybe a hangry. I've got a little bit of brain fog. I didn't really eat a good breakfast this morning. So I'm fairly hungry right now. Where do you feel like you sit at? Just think about, things that, is your stomach growling? Do you have brain fog? Are you hangry? Are you irritable? Are you moody? Do you have loss of energy? All of these are signs of hunger. And if you don't know, that's okay. This is why we come here to the practice space. So just keep that number in mind. And then we'll begin our practice taking, your snack or your meal or your whatever bite, and just notice all the different colors. So I've got some browns. I've got a little bit of like this greenish color from my pumpkin seeds. I've got like this purplish color from my dates. Like, what color is your food? And just notice the different colors that are on your plate without judgment. Again, not good or bad, it just is. And then we invite the other senses in. So notice the smells. So maybe put the food up to your nose and notice the smells. And so I'm smelling like a little bit of savory, a little bit of sweet. And we do this again to stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system and also helps get our body ready for digestion. And notice as you're putting the food close to your nose, is there something going on in your mouth? Maybe your mouth is watering, getting ready to eat. These are all signs that you're getting into that ready mode for rest and digest, for eating. Go ahead and take your bite. Notice the sounds. Notice the flavors. See if you can challenge yourself to take a few extra chews before swallowing. So I've got a little crunch from the seeds. I've got a little savoriness, a little sweet. Notice, is there anything different? Sometimes we do the mindful practice and we notice flavors that we haven't noticed before, which is kind of cool. Notice if you tasted anything different. Maybe you didn't, and that's okay too. And we'll go ahead and go through that practice again, maybe this time a little bit faster. So noticing the colors, noticing the smell, and then the taste, the texture, the sound. Adding a couple more chews than normal. And then any sensations that are coming up, whether they're physical sensations or emotional sensations, and allowing them to be there without judgment. It's okay if this is feeling uncomfortable. It's okay if you're finding enjoyment in it. It's okay if you're not finding enjoyment. Again, it's just a space where we explore, right? Sensations, physical and emotional sensations that are happening as we eat. And if you would like to jot those down, you know, there's a space in your journal to notice what those are. And as we notice these things, it provides us insight into our relationship with food. It provides us insight about what's going on inside of us. So we can get back to that internal wisdom, right? That internal wisdom that we had since we are born, right? When we are born, we cried when we were hungry, we stopped eating when we were full. That wisdom is inside of us, and we're just trying to get back in touch with that, right? To allow us the internal factors to guide us about what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, right? Instead of those external factors. Because the true wisdom is in with you. So feel free to continue. I'm gonna just keep on talking and eating, so feel free to go through the practice on your own. And you can note, you know, what's your energy level today? What's your stress level today? How much water have you had today? How much water did you have yesterday? Note your general mood, because all of these are factors that can affect our hunger fullness cues, right? They can mask our hunger fullness cues, or they can intensify our hunger fullness cues. So note this, and the more that we tap into that, the more we can be like, I didn't realize I was stressed until I actually sat down and thought about it. Or I didn't realize that I was hungry because I've been going like crazy. So it's really good to kind of just tap in throughout the day and be like, where am I at? Where am I at on the hunger fullness scale? Where am I at on a scale of 1 to 10 with stress? Where am I at? You know, how much sleep have I had? Because all of these things are a factor, right? So continue to just notice the flavors. Try to slow down. Try to swallow before picking up your fork or picking up the food again. And maybe even pausing and noticing the sensations of the swallowing and pausing afterwards. See how your body feels then. Just trying something a little new can help with that cognitive flexibility, right? Building some new synapses in our brain, which is always nice. So going back to the elements of mindfulness, right? We start in this non-judgmental space, right? Food isn't good, it isn't bad. Food is food, right? We have to have patience with ourselves, knowing that it is a practice for a reason. It's not going to be perfect the very first time that we do this. And we might the practice is a lifelong practice, and some days we're going to feel like we're really tapped in to what's going on inside, and some days it's going to be hard, and that's part of the journey, and that's okay too. Every day is going to be different. It's just important to come back to the practice and to come back to that journey, right? To continue to come back to this space and that internal, and trying to tap into what's going on in here, what's going on inside of you. We also want to approach the practice with a beginner's mind. So we are trying to be a student of our own body, right? We come at it every single day, not pretending like we know everything, because every day is different, but coming at it with a beginner's mind. And a beginner's mind, John Kabat-Zinn says that a beginner's mind is a mind that's willing to see everything as it is for the first time. So as things arise, right? As things arise, trying to see it for the first time without judgment and just go, that's interesting. I'm feeling discomfort. That's interesting. Okay. Let's maybe explore that a little bit, right? And you have your journal. You can write down some of your thoughts. Other aspects are going to be trust. And that's what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build that trust back with our bodies, to know that your body is amazing. Your body knows when it's hungry, what it needs, right? It's all of these other layers from that we've learned that we have to peel back to get down to the root of our internal wisdom. So building that trust back up and building that relationship with our body back up and building that relationship back up with food. We also want non-striving. So mindful eating isn't a diet. It isn't a new way to lose or control your body weight. It isn't a new way to categorize food. It's not a new nutrition trend, although it seems to be very trendy right now, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is a practice that requires like an intentional shift to pause and to slow down. It is a practice that could improve our relationship with food, improve our relationship with our body, and be able to listen and to self-regulate. We also want to bring in a little bit of acceptance, right? Accepting things exactly how they are and being like, it is what it is, and that's okay. Sometimes, we have this sensation of craving, and taking that pause to figure out what is it that I'm really craving. Sometimes it is food, and sometimes it's just comfort, which can be provided by food, but it also can be provided by, snuggling up on the couch, Netflix and chill. It could be calling a friend, right? So these are some of the things that you can explore. Letting go is another element of mindful eating. Mindful eating encourages encourages letting go of the external cues and the cultural conditioning about how much we need to eat, what we need to eat, how we need to eat, how much we should weigh, what our bodies should look like. It's about letting all of that go. And again, cultivating a reliance on our internal signals, our internal cues, our internal wisdom. We have the potential to find inner wisdom and inner peace, right? Through that pause, through grounding. Gratitude. Gratitude is the big one. Being thankful for our bodies, being thankful for our food, being thankful for access to food, being thankful for the hands that prepared the food, having gratitude to just having the space, right here, right now, in this virtual space, to having this time. And gratitude, it doesn't mean that some people think that if they are unhappy with their body that they can't be thankful for it at the same time. And it's not that you're going to wake up every single day and absolutely love your body. And we have days where we don't, and that's okay. But can we have gratitude for it, for breathing, for digesting, for thinking, for being able to walk and do all the amazing things that our body does? So can we just start with gratitude? We don't have to fall in love. We don't have to, we don't even have to like, but can we have gratitude and respect for our bodies and for our internal wisdom? And then the last element of mindful eating is generosity. And so it is written that one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves is presence, is being fully here in the moment, letting go of the external world. I understand that we are on a screen right now, but in a normal, and I would say a traditional, conventional mindful eating practice, we would not be on a screen, right? We would kind of be here, maybe have some quiet music on, but letting go of like the stimulus and being fully present, right? Giving ourselves that space for the practice. And so an open and a generous attitude of being present is what we're looking for with the mindful eating. So all of these are elements: non-judgment, patience, a beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, letting go, gratitude, and generosity. And so we'll take a few more mindful bites before we close out our practice, and I'll just kind of be quiet and let you just kind of reflect on some of those words. So we are just about finished with our time here together. We'll go back to that hunger fullness scale, right? 1 being the most hungry I've ever been, 10 being the most full I've ever been, and a 5 being about neutral. See if you can kind of scan your body and see where you're at now. So I told you I was probably about a 2. I was very almost hangry. And probably about a 4. So I'm still quite hungry, but not as hungry. So I'll probably sit in this space a little bit longer offline and finish my meal. You're welcome to do so yourself, but let's just take 5 of those 4 count breaths together to seal our practice and to close everything out as a collected community. So again, spine nice and long, maybe a hand on the heart and on the abdomen, and we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath. Let it rise and fall at its natural pace. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Again, feel free to finish out your practice offline. I will repost this with the pin link for pen attendance. It is also in the chat right now. And next week, we'll be doing our final mindful eating practice of the month. At 1 o'clock, we'll be doing a yoga flow, 30-minute yoga flow. 1:30, we'll be doing our mindful eating practice. So a really great hour to yourself. If you aren't able to join live, catch the replay on IG or catch the replay on our YouTube channel, GSU Healthy Habits. Thanks everyone. Have an amazing week.